is the very first episode. So I am super, super excited. I am James Gartner, and today I'm launching the 100K Hairstylist podcast. It's a dream I've had for quite a while, a long time in the making. So I'm super, super stoked to bring it to you today. So let's just jump right in. So a few years ago, I ran into a fellow salon owner and hairstylist at a local brewery. And, she said, I know who you are, and I wanted to pick your brain if I could. And I said, sure, absolutely. I mean, why not? And we got all into talking about salon business, where she was at with her business, where she was at behind the chair. And it was an incredible conversation. And I don't know if you've ever ran into a fellow hairstylist and you got into business talk, or a fellow salon owner and you got into business talk, but it is a pretty incredible thing that happens because you have this sort of commonality and stories that tie you together and really make you feel like you're not alone. And for those of you who have been through any crazy things behind the chair where you've had kind of a oopsie daisy and it didn't go quite as you expected and you had to turn it around somehow or some way, these are things that you can share in commonality with everybody. Salon owners as well. You made this type of business error and then you were like, I'll never do that again, but here's what I learned going forward. And it's so great to find people that you can share these commonalities with. Well, by the end of our conversation, she said, James, you should totally start a podcast. And ever since then, it just kind of stuck with me. And, here we are now with the first episode of the 100K Hairstyles podcast. And, in case you don't know who I am James Gartner. I'm 36 years old, and I am living my best life on a lake in the Chicago suburbs. But it wasn't too long ago that I was a broke hairstylist just trying to make it and get by and just beginning my career. And I had big dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur and educator in the professional hair community. And I think a lot of people share that same kind of dream. Over the past decade, I have chased that dream and turned it into a reality. Now, I just love right now, now that I've sold the salons and I have created the product lines and done all the things, now I just love teaching other hairstylists and salon owners to develop their business and create a life that they love too. Now, I'm excited to be here with you every single week. So imagine that it's just you and I. We're in a brewery. We're talking all the things business, life, and everything in between. It is going to be a blast. Now, the 100K Hairstylist podcast is going to be a weekly podcast. And while I love interview-style podcasts, I love them with the best of them, I want this to feel more like an online workshop. So you show up every week and you walk away with tangible takeaways that you can apply to your life and your business right away. Now, I have some amazing friends, too, that are just incredible individuals. They have built businesses behind the chair that most could only dream of. They're those ones on Instagram where they say, I'm not accepting new clients. And you're like, I wish. And also those salon owners who make it on the cover of magazines like Salon Today. And I'm excited to bring them on as well. So welcome to the 100K Hairstylist podcast, you guys. And today we're going to talk all about one of my favorite subjects, and that is salon success mindset. Now, I'm not sure why you showed up here today. Maybe the name 100K Hairstylist podcast piqued your interest, or you just wanted to see what the heck I was up to. But I wholeheartedly believe that you were meant to be here today. Now, maybe you're just starting your career and wanting tips on how to grow behind the chair, or you could even be a salon owner looking to make a profit behind the chair beyond your own paycheck that you're getting behind the chair. A lot of salon owners don't actually make a whole lot of profit from their salon. They just make what they make behind the chair. And maybe you're looking to be able to become a profitable business. But the most important thing is that you're here today, and I feel so humbled to drive the bus to take you to where you want to be. Let me just take a moment here to tell you that I am not perfect, and I am the first person to admit that. And I invite you to release any pressure and join me here completely honest and raw. So I could talk all about titles and tell you all about how I am a fitness enthusiast and being that I was a top 200 salon owner and a product line owner. But those things really don't define me. And they would never allow us to get to the good stuff. So I could also go on about Insta handles and YouTube channels, but the reality of it is that none of us are as cool as our social media channels. Can I get an amen up in here? Because what we see in our friends' social media channels that we admire so much is that it is their curated life. We compare ourselves often to the highlight reels of other people's curated lives on social media. That is not their reality in real life. So I just want to jump off with exactly who I am so we can just level the playing field and you can feel free to do exactly the same thing. So over a decade ago, I graduated from beauty school and then was invited to become a teacher and ultimately teach the craft myself. Now, this is an interesting thing because I never really felt, I guess I felt like I was a total fraud because I was teaching folks this practice and I never really had the experience and the practice behind the chair myself. So it gave me an extreme amount of imposter syndrome. Here I am, a beauty school teacher, teaching other people things that I never really practiced behind the chair. And, maybe you're jumping into this career as a stylist or even jumping into the career as a business owner, a salon owner, where you may have no background in this and you're feeling a little bit like a fraud too. And just so you know, my friend, you are in good company, okay? I know that very well, and I continue to know that with every new thing that I start, like this podcast. So I want to give you a little personal thing and just, take a moment to say that I am married to the kindest teddy bear of a man, Adam, who I have known for 17 years and has been through it all with me. And, he actually left the house today when he realized I was going to be recording today so that I could get in my zone and be here today with you. He is working from home just like a lot of people and left the house because he's got a lot of meetings and things like that so that I could be here in silence with you today and in the zone. Now, I can't say the same for my other love, which is my cat Pooter, who may decide to jump in here and join the party. And there's nothing going to stop him from stealing the spotlight, just so you know. So lastly, something I want to share with you is that I am a business owner first and a hairstylist second. And I just love that because, that people view me like that because business is something that runs so deeply in my blood. A little history about my family and a funny kind of little story is that my family was the creator of the Real Appeal, which is the potato peeler. So it runs deep, deep, deep in our lineage. And it's something that I just love because right now I'm creating a channel where I can answer your questions, the questions that you've been sending me on social media all these years, live, and empower you to create a thriving business and a life that you love. And that just really gets my heart pumping. So now I could also be that girl and sit here and tell you about my large following on Instagram or my 6-figure businesses, but those things really don't define me and they certainly don't define you. So, In case you want to know secrets to growing your Instagram or how to reach 6 figures in your business behind the chair, I'm actually not going to be sharing those today. Because here's the truth. There is not a secret formula or a one-size-fits-all plan to anything. The secret sauce comes from what you make of what you got. And let me explain that a little bit further. So when you look at all of these social media gurus that you see and you compare your life to their curated highlight reels that they show you online, if you look deep into the background of those people that you admire, you will see that there are clues that are left behind that made that person successful. And each one of them are very, very unique. The reality is that they just made the most of what they had and they grew it to what they have today. There's nothing saying that you can't do that too in your journey where you're at right now. Oftentimes, we see people's successes and not their failures on social media. And, we compare our back end to their highlights, like I said. And, this ends up giving us extreme imposter syndrome and ends up leaving us feeling, just not good enough and really, quite honestly, just defeated. Now, however, there is a commonality or a clue you will see among all of these successful people. And that is their mindset, okay? And number one, they acknowledge that, they feel a certain way when they have this because even they have imposter syndrome. I can guarantee that there is somebody online that they follow that will give them some type of feeling in some kind of way. But the difference is that about what they do around those feelings. So when they're feeling a certain way, they give themselves some grace and they turn those feelings around and they say, they acknowledge it and say, what is it about those feelings that I can take away from this? And when they figure it out, they can truly believe in themselves enough that they can do whatever it is that they pinpointed there that they want to set out to do. And they calm that inner saboteur that says you're not good enough. And they create an action plan to get them a little bit closer to that goal. So let's go back a minute here to when I was teaching beauty school. Some days I felt like I had no business being a teacher because I did not walk the talk. I told you I didn't have a lot of experience. I went from going through beauty school to then becoming a teacher in beauty school. And, I had to really calm that inner saboteur and create a plan. So I just said, okay, whoa. You are good enough. You can do this. We've just got to create a plan to get you that experience. And I put that plan together and I took a little bit of a less traditional route. Here's what I did. I applied to become an educator with a major product line. And that sort of fast-tracked my success because I surrounded myself with the very best of the best, the coup de grace, as they say, of hairdressers. And I was able to be like a sponge and just absorb all of the technical aspects of these people from this product line. And, one thing it didn't give me, though, was the technical speed. That is something you can only get with repeating something over and over and over again until you have that muscle memory. So I found myself again comparing myself to those that are working professionals behind the chair because they had that technical speed on top of the proficiency. So I, again, found myself in a position where I had that inner saboteur saying, you don't have this, and I was playing the compare game. And I had to calm that inner voice that was telling me that I wasn't good enough and create a plan to help me get that experience. So what I did was I opened a salon suite in my home while I was teaching beauty school. And I told everybody I knew around me, my family, my friends, my neighbors, that I was open for business. And this gave me the opportunity really to grow into a successful stylist and get that experience behind the chair. And then, eventually become a full-size salon owner to then go on and train other people with all of those technical skills and how to generate that speed and all of the systems that you need behind the chair to become proficient and become a top paid hairstylist. Hired a bunch of people, trained them on, and before I knew it, this ultimately led us to becoming one of the top 200 salons in the nation. And it still boggles me to think about that, but we did this year over year over year. We gained that title as a top 200 salon for 6 years in a row. Holy crap. So here are my tips for you. The first thing is never compare yourself to someone else's journey. They could be 10 years into their journey, and likely their success was not overnight. And if you look into it, it was years and years and years in the making. Now, look for clues to that person that you admire, though. Acknowledge the fact that there's something there that you might want, that you could set a goal for. And look at their clues for success and apply them in an action plan to get you to where you want to be as well. So create that goal and say, here's what's missing that this person possesses that I need, and that is going to be your ultimate goal. And then you just start to create small steps to get you closer to that goal, which is exactly what they did to get them to where they need to be as well, as I had just demonstrated about my own personal experience. And then the third thing is to have unwaverable belief that you can do anything that you set your mind to. Like I said, this is a mindset change. When you say, I can't, or I'm not, or this person has this that I don't have, shift that around and say, I can do that, I will do that, and I will become that. And you'll be surprised how you can completely transform your life by just shifting your mindset to an I can do mindset. Now, I want for you to learn how to become successful through systems that you can apply behind the chair and even in your salon business if you're a salon owner. And I'll record full episodes on those exact systems because there are so many that we can cover that will totally transform your life and elevate you in your craft. But here's where I want us to land today with this first episode. I want to be your permission granter, so to speak. I want to give you permission, give you that permission slip to become whatever it is that you want to be in your journey. And I want to empower you to just, be your best self and to become whatever it is that you want to become. Success is often a title that we give other people. That person's so successful, but we're often the last people to get that title from ourselves. What if we shifted that mindset and we said, I am successful. I am financially prosperous. What do you think would happen? Send me a little comment below and let me know what would happen if you started to shift your mindset, what you think could happen. So send me something below and we'll start to, I already see people popping up. That's awesome. Hey girl, hey, goals. Yes, girl. I want to give you that permission, okay? If that's what you feel that you need, here is your permission slip right here, right now. You can be whatever the hell you want to be. And you are worthy of success, okay? I want you to know that your journey to success is going to look quite different from everyone else's. My journey was different. This person's journey was different. That person's journey was different. I want you to give yourself that title too. And I want you to know that you are more than an Instagram account, okay? I get this a lot. There's a huge question I get a lot about how I can grow into high numbers on Instagram. And I want to share those secrets with you. I want to share these actionable systems with you in future episodes. But right now, where I want us to land is that you are more than an Instagram account with high numbers. You are worthy of success and you are worthy of financial freedom, okay? It is something that I know that you can do and that I've seen with countless other people. And you don't have to have high Instagram numbers and you don't have to have huge followings on YouTube in order to achieve success. That is for damn sure. So As I close this first episode, I want you to stop comparing yourself to others, and I want you to instead tell yourself that you can have it too. Okay? Here's what I want you to do. When you leave this podcast, I want you to write down that goal that you have or that you see in other people. And if you mind sharing it, you can send it to me right now in the comments below. I am with you, sister. So write it down. I want you to place it on a Post-it. And here's what I want you to do with it. I want you to post that Post-it on your bathroom mirror. Something that you use every single day. And that way you can see it and you can remind yourself every day of the goal that you're working towards. This is an incredible thing, my friends, because when you do that and you see that you have this goal in mind and you want to take those action steps to get there, you are going to immediately go into the zone of this is what I'm working towards. And suddenly, excuse me, you can decrease that inner saboteur who is telling you that you're not good enough and that you're never going to reach this or you're never going to be that. And you can instead say, this is the goal that I'm working towards to be that, and I will be that because here are the steps that I'm taking to get there, and this is what I'm working towards. So thank you, my friends, for joining me in the first episode of the 100K Hairstylist podcast and show. And I cannot wait to connect next week where we will teach you tangible steps to growing your biz and your life. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.